Okay, so significant figures are all well and good. It's pretty easy, after you get the hang of it, to figure out how many sig figs a given measurement has. The difficulty can come when you actually try to do some mathematical operations with them. So we're going to lead off with a problem in which you're multiplying two numbers and you have to determine where to round. And this is a skill that's pretty tough to pick up sometimes. So let's say that I want to put a fence around my yard, and I want to figure out how many square feet my yard is. So I want to calculate its area. And now, so this is more or less a rectangular yard. You're going to have to bear with me and assume that it's a triangle, or a rectangle rather. And on this side, it is 8.23 meters. And on this side, it is, let's say, 11.45 meters. So now we've got to figure out the area of this yard, and I've got to figure out, how much fence I need to put around it, and I've also got to figure out how much soil to put in to grow a garden, because I'm going to grow an elaborate garden. So here we go. We're going to calculate the area simply by multiplying the length times the width. So we have 11.45 meters times 8.23 meters. And if I get a calculator, I don't always plan for these things very well. 11.45 times 8.23 gives me 94.233 meters squared. Now, the original measurements we made were to the nearest hundredth of a meter. And because we measured our measurements to the nearest hundredth of a meter, we can't possibly hope to be able to make our area measurement to the nearest 10,000th of a meter, to 4 decimal places. So what we need to do is we need to look at these numbers up here, at the two measurements we started with. And with multiplication and division, I'm going to write this at the bottom so we remember, it's always about the fewest total sig figs. So we need to look at these two measurements. We need to figure out how many sig figs they each have. And we see that this one, 11.45, has 4 sig figs. We see that the other one, 8.23, has 3 sig figs. And remember, the rule is the fewest total sig figs. So if our least precise measurement has only 3 sig figs, our answer also has to have 3 sig figs. So here's how we do it. We count 3 sig figs, and we're always going to count from the left since that's where the number starts. So we count 1, 2, 3. And what I like to do, just to help myself out, is to draw a line after the sig fig that I know will cut off the number. So we're going to round it either to 94.2 if the number after it is 5 or more, or we're going to keep it, or here, let me back up. So the number right now is 94.2335. We know we're going to need to round it to 1 decimal place. So if this number here, in this case it's 3, was 5 or greater, we would round it up to 94.3. Since it isn't, we're going to keep this at 94.2. I don't think I really need to review the rules of rounding with you, but that's where you would round in this case. You would round to 3 significant figures, which happens to be the tenths place here. So our final answer would be 94.2 square meters. So keep in mind when you're multiplying and dividing measurements, the fewest total sig figs is the number of sig figs you should have in your answer. Hopefully that helps you understand, and I'll see you soon.